Hey everybody, welcome back to the Prospect Pad. I'm Kyle Glazer, alongside Twins shortstop Nick Gordon. Nick, first of all, you've made the Futures game. You're here in Miami. Just what does making the Futures game mean to you?
It's definitely a special moment for me, to be able to look at all the guys that have played in this game, and even my brother. My brother got the chance to play in it, so, it's definitely a blessing to be here. I'm so thankful, and, it just also means that we got more work to do, so.
So your dad, Tom Gordon, was an all-star. Your brother, Dee's an all-star. Now you've got a Futures gamer. In the city D plays, just going to them now saying, hey, I got some hardware too?
They're up there. I'm definitely trying to catch up and do some of the things that they've done. So, they definitely got the upper hand, and it's good. It's good for me definitely to be able to chase that. And look up to my dad and my brother and know, I want to top what they've done one day.
So I assume D and Flash, they're going to be here for the Futures game.
Yeah, they should be. Definitely my dad will be here in a few hours. My brother's in San Francisco right now playing, so he's going to try his best to get back. So it should be fun.
So I have to ask, growing up in a family of ball players, was your dad pitching to you while you were swinging one of those plastic bats? Was D razzing you? What was that like?
There was no plastic bats. It was all real. My dad was throwing baseballs at us. He was throwing.
Even when you were like 2, 3?
Oh, well then, it was always having a baseball in your hand, and going around swinging bats around the house and breaking stuff. It was all right, though, because, we did it playing baseball. So, but definitely my dad would take us out on the field, let us hit home runs from halfway in the outfield, and have home run derbies and stuff. And it was always competition between me and D. He was always older, but he always knew, he had to push me, and I definitely thank him for that as well.
So he's the older brother. Did you ever beat him in a home run derby?
No, it wouldn't have been fair. Not when I was a kid. D, a lot of the times he was trying to rob the home runs, and stuff like that. So.
You said you used to break stuff around the house. Ever break anything your mom got real mad at?
Oh, yeah. We broke a window once, and my mom was furious. And she said, wait till your dad gets here. And my dad got home. She told him what happened. He was like, yeah, they broke the window. And my dad was mad at first. And then he was like, well, how did y'all do it? She said, we playing baseball, Dad. And he was like, oh, that's all right, man. And my mom, she was upset. He was like, you know what? Don't worry about it.
Absolutely. So, growing up in a house with all that baseball, I mean, how's that helped you as you've gone through, the high school to the pros, each way up the minor league ladder?
Definitely with being mature, knowing how to carry yourself on and off the field, through all levels of baseball. Definitely playing in high school. I was still in high school, so I didn't know the ins and outs myself about pro ball, but I had my dad and my brother there to tell me, a lot of stuff that you wouldn't know if you didn't have guys like that who are close to you. And, definitely having them in my life, is definitely, I'd say it's giving me a little bit of an edge, definitely going in on the mental side of things.
So you were a kid walking around clubhouses with your dad. Who was the player when you were a little kid that you met in maybe a clubhouse that you just were in awe of?
Derek Jeter. Always. It was always Derek Jeter. My favorite player, and then when I met him, he was just an even better person, and man, I just always wanted to be like Derek Jeter, and definitely just watching him play and watching him be in the same clubhouse as my dad, it was something that, definitely I wouldn't trade for anything.
So how old were you, and were you speechless? What was that like when you met him?
I was about 10 years old. I think I was from like 9 to 11, around 9 to 11 when him and my dad played together. So I definitely wasn't speechless, as a young kid, you see your favorite player, you definitely want to go meet him, and playing baseball, for me, I played the same position, so I definitely, I wanted to take ground balls with him if I could. But, it was definitely fun, and just being able to see him, he gave us a lot of stuff, a lot of shoes. I showed off all my shoes he gave us, all the wristbands. I had so many, I think I had like 6 Jordan wristbands with the number 2 on them going up my whole arm, so it was definitely fun. Derek Jeter he was definitely a great role model for me.
So I have to ask, is that your best baseball memory, meeting Derek Jeter, or is there something you did on the field? Like, what's number 1 for you?
Number 1 would have to be watching my dad and Philadelphia Phillies win the World Series in '08. My whole family was there, and we know how much that meant to my dad. And just to see the smile on his face after they won, man, he definitely put in so much hard work, and, he was actually hurt. And even just to, it's tough to be there, and going through all that. And he definitely supported his teammates every step of the way, and they got the win, and I don't think I ever seen my dad happy.
So being around that, I mean, seeing a World Series champion, seeing that joy, was that something that drove you even further?
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I was a child then. Well, I was young. But even just to see that and see how good that felt, and I didn't even, I wasn't even a part of it. But to be able to be there, and to see how great it was and how great the city was, oh, that's something you always want.
So now that you've come up and you're making your own career, you're at AA in the Twins organization, That championship mindset, seeing what it, meeting Derek Jeter, seeing your dad win a World Series, I mean, just how much is that part of everyday development for you?
Oh, it makes you strive to be better, definitely. It makes you want to be the best you can be. And it makes you go out, every single day and give 110%, and being in double A, low A, high A, wherever you're at, it doesn't matter, whenever you take the field with no regrets. And go out and play your all, give your all, and leave everything on the field.
So, playing your all, giving your all, I think we're all expecting that in the Futures game tomorrow. Aside from the game itself, Miami is a great city, a lot going on. What are you most looking forward to about being here in Miami beyond just the baseball stuff?
Getting to know some of these guys, things like that. It's a lot of great guys. I mean, I played against a lot of them, and guys like Amid Rosario or Ahmed Rosario, just to be, in the room with guys like that and to pick their brains, and not even just about baseball, but how they, go about their days and stuff like that. I think that's what I take the most out of it, and it's definitely fun to be here, man. It's a blessing to be here, and I'm so thankful.
Is Rosario, is there one guy you really wanted to meet?
I actually met him last year in the Florida State League. He's a great guy, and we play the same position, so I watch and pick up on a lot of things that he does. I mean, the kid is phenomenal at what he does, so it's definitely seeing guys like that and talking to guys like that is definitely something that I like taking part in.
Speaking of all the talented players, I have to ask, who is the toughest guy you feel like you've ever faced?
Oh, pitching-wise, man, I don't know. Kopech's pretty tough. He's definitely got an electric fastball. We had our battles, definitely. That's my boy, too, so, but he's a competitor, man. He competes, and I love it. Like, every time I step in the box and he's on the mound, I know it's about to be war, and after the game, we might go to dinner or whatever, but definitely when we're on the field, it's war. I mean, I love that. I love competing against guys who want to win, and just as much as I want to win, it makes it fun.
You guys are teammates on this. How happy are you to have him on your side now?
Oh, I mean, it's great, too. I played with him in Arizona in the fall league, so, I mean, that was fun as well. Playing behind Kopech, you either not going to get a lot of action or the game's going to be real quick, and he's going to go out and he's going to do his thing, and it's definitely fun to be behind him and watch, man. I think he throws an invisible ball. Dude throws 100 miles an hour. It's all power to him.
Absolutely. All right, so I have to ask, show, the other side, Nick Gordon, just the person, not just the ball player. Chipotle, what's your go-to order?
Oh, I'm definitely getting a bowl. White rice, pinto beans, steak and chicken. I'm just going to say steak and chicken the first time, and then I'm going to say all double. Then they're going to give me extra meat. That's a trick, guys. I just taught you the trick. And then I'm going to put a little bit of cheese on it, give me some chips, and then, give me probably a lemonade or something like that. So.
Okay. We're asking all the guys, no guac?
No, I'm not a guac kind of guy.
That'll work. All right, final question before we go. Katy Perry, Taylor Swift feud, who you got?
Taylor Swift, always. I love Taylor Swift's music. I play it in the clubhouse sometimes. So.
How does that go over with your teammates?
Not too good. No. A lot of guys, you'll be surprised. A lot of guys know Taylor Swift songs. You'd be surprised.
Is it more the new stuff or the old stuff with her?
It's kind of more of the old stuff. I kind of like the old stuff. I haven't really heard a lot of her new songs. I really ain't paid too much attention to it, but definitely the old stuff. I feel Taylor Swift's got some good songs.
All right, that'll work. Well, Nick Gordon, thank you so much for joining us at the Prospect Pad. I'm Kyle Glazer. Thanks for tuning in, folks.